So prior to ignoring the people who keep criticizing us, and I wondered, why is it that Filipino Americans here can still remember their country, can still look at their country and say, this is my country, those are my people, I intend to help them. However, some of our countrymen who have been left in the Philippines remind me of a story I think I first heard from my dad. And they were talking about Filipino crabs. And I wondered, Filipino crabs, that's a new story to me. So my dad was saying that he was told this story. There were two people at a bar. One of them was a Filipino. He had a pail of crabs, and there was another person beside him. The crabs were attempting to get out of the pail, and one was almost at the lip of the pail. So the guy beside the Filipino fisherman said, your crabs are about to escape. And the fisherman said, don't worry, they're Filipino crabs. And to be honest with you, seems you've heard a joke. No? When my dad told me this probably 2 decades ago, I didn't understand it at first. And then he had to explain it to me, and I felt really stupid after he had to explain it to me. Bottom line is, when somebody gets up, there has to be somebody that drags you down. No? And who are these people? I believe these people are those who would want to preserve the status quo. What does the status quo mean? They seem to be participants in the idea of equality, meaning some are more equal than others. Sa Tagalog po, mas maganda eh. Diba? Naipwesto sila para manlamang at mangapi. Even given these people who incessantly complain and nitpick, sometimes they complain about my hair. I'd rather have the thin hair than the thick face. Di ka naman humalaman, baka naman inggit. It is really something, no? When the people are at your side. It is really something to see when you notice, when you sense, when you feel optimism in the air, and this optimism translates into action that is already sharing and reaping benefits for our people, not only in the homeland, but in the rest of the world. Napatingin po ako sa rilot, baka meron ako narinig na kumukulunsan dyan. I'm sorry if I'm taking too much of your time. I really am energized whenever I meet Filipinos. I am energized and I have to be energized because I told them I want the least expenses for this trip. So what they did was to send me to San Francisco, put me on the next plane to New York, and have the meetings flow after that. So this must be what is experienced by people who are not allowed to sleep. And at the same time, you're fearful of making a mistake lest you bring the whole country's reputation down. But let me reiterate a few things, though. You now have in place a government in our homeland that will not let you down, that will not have utterances that they don't intend to live up to. This is a government that owes its existence to trust. That trust is sacred, and it will deliver. My dad used to sing a song called The Impossible Dream. And a lot of us, at some point or another, must have felt, is having a decent, a correct government in our country an impossibility? We have 6 years. I think we have demonstrated in less than 3 months that we have been in office how serious we are at changing and transforming our country. We are confident. With the people behind us, nothing is impossible. We will achieve our dreams, and it will be soon rather than later. And to my countrymen, can I leave you with just these thoughts? First, ngayon po, tunay na pwede na muling mangarap. Pangalawa po, para marating natin ang tamang paroroonan, kailangan pong ipagpatuloy natin ang pagtutulungan. And lastly, let us now continue along the straight and righteous path towards the realization of our dreams for our nation. And ito na po talaga last na po ito. I talked to you about the people I met at the Seasons Marketplace earlier. Tonight, we have the launch of the Philippine Development Foundation. This is an Ayala USA Foundation, did I say it correctly? Prior to that, these are people who kept on plugging, who kept on persevering. These are people who continued to hope beyond hope and actually strike out to improve and did actually realize the improvement of a lot of our countrymen. They have, in spite of factors, in spite of, shall we say, forces that would make their efforts futile, persevered. And because of their perseverance, a lot more Filipinos have a brighter future today. I say mabuhay to the Philippine Development Foundation, mabuhay to all of you. Good night.